He got the worst class but becomes stronger every time he revives. Yotsuya grew up with a sense of duty to protect his friends, even from a bear. But his life changes when he moves to the city, where he has no friends and hates his social life, despite having none. In short, he never realized he was a total loser. One day, he's suddenly teleported to another world that looks like a video game and almost gets killed in the first second. There he meets his two classmates, starring Sakura, the popular girl who is a master of the timeless art of being a damsel in distress. She will constantly remind you that she's not the main character, starring Crybaby.
What did she say?
She'll melt your heart with her determination, but watch out, she's as frail as her self-esteem. Together, they'll embark on a game where the leveling system is as slow-paced as an RPG from the 90s. Suddenly, this freak with half-head appears, revealing to be the game master. This guy literally teleported everyone here to level up and complete a total of 10 missions for absolutely no reason. And their reward is to ask him one question and get a new player to join their group. Do you mean a new victim? Every player has their class. Shindo is an S-rank wind mage and Kyusu is a legendary blade god. But Yotsuya is the chosen one, in this roulette where he has a 20% chance of becoming a legendary warrior, 12% chance to be a god or the strongest magician. He gets one of 5 the rarest classes, with a whopping 0.5% chance each. He becomes the unique and only, a farmer. Wait, what the? The game master gives them their first quest, to fulfill the nearby village chief's request. But first, let's beat some level 1 goblins and level up, like the true gamer that Yotsuya is. With the biggest confidence in the world, he pulls out his greatest tool. But the girls don't think it's that great. He decides to engage until the girls have been here for a month. I'm pretty Shindo will one-shot it with her super epic wind magic. Sorry, wrong one. Why is she hair drying a bald goblin? Okay, maybe the other one. I heard she took Kirito's online course. Yeah, something like that. She got scammed. Why are they so useless? Seriously, I quit, they're doomed. Shindo responds after 30 seconds. As long as everyone at the party doesn't die at the same time, they're safe. But what if they all die at the same time? Oh, they're totally doomed. How did she even survive as the first player who had to defeat a goblin? They eventually managed to defeat it. The girls then reveal their questions and answers. Basically, the game master comes from the future, and someone had already picked the players. Yotsuya then goes out to spend all night grinding for that exp. But when he comes back, he sees the girls getting eaten. Literally. He still manages to save Kyusu, who regenerates her body except for her hand. They end up literally ignoring Shindo, who's pretty much enjoying being a digestive cookie, and check the village chief request. Yeah, to defeat the troll who just made Shindo his dinner. Yotsuya decides to kill more goblins to level up and deal with the troll, just to get a pop-up telling that Kyusu ended up eaten, because she still doesn't know the online course was a scam. Yotsuya is literally playing extreme hell mode with 3 handicaps, each of the girls plus his class. Yotsuya then challenges the troll, for no reason whatsoever. I mean, he could have simply leveled up for like 5 more days and literally one-shot it. Well, maybe. The troll somehow has frog syndrome and simply jumps to catch him. And as he's about to catch him, a goblin appears, just to get stabbed and allow Yotsuya to level up to 10. Time stops and the game master appears, revealing that every 10 levels he gets to spin the wheel and get another class. And our boy gets one of the other rare classes. Okay, for real, this one must be good, right? Seriously, a chef? How much can this guy be hated? That goblin died for this. I swear someone put him inside this game to make him suffer. At least this class allows him to slice up the troll's stomach and allow the girls to finally revive. But yeah, the girls are still pretty much useless and there's no way to possibly defeat the troll, I guess. Until Yotsuya decides to pull out another stupid attempt to jump inside the troll's stomach and stab him, allowing Shindo to somehow finish it off. Wait, how did she even do that when she could only blow dry the goblin? Get another troll. She gets opus if she's being digested. Yotsuya asks the game master what will happen after they complete all 10 missions. The weirdo shows them the future where the 3 will have to save their real world from a dragon, without any respawn mechanic. Yes, they're doomed. They all return to the real world, and Yotsuya has no time to think about what the hell happened to him because he has a solo quest to pick up a girl. Turns out the game master also likes to be a wingman, and as any other guy would do, he for some reason simply gets into the girl's bathroom to save the girl who was being bullied by 3 other girls. He saves the girl, literally breaking the bullies' phones and ruining their Instagram lives, and escorts the girl home. The trio gets summoned to the other world again, with the new girl as their companion. She's Yuka, an energetic and bubbly comic relief character who's as obsessed with her imaginary anime characters as she is with surviving in a life-threatening fantasy world. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll wonder why she's even here. The girl rolls the Heat Wizard class and her ability is to raise the environment temperature, which makes you question why her name isn't Sakura. They're given their next quest to discover 5% of the whole map and deliver some goods to a city in 40 days. So, the first thing is to get some horses, and thanks to the help of this old man, they discover that there's a tournament nearby that awards some horses. However, just by entering the forest, they come across bandits whom they cannot attack because every time they hurt a human, they lose 1 level. So, once again, the girls end up being captured, leaving Yotsuya once again as humanity's last hope. So, he trains a bit, gains some levels, and obtains the class of wizard creature. Something actually, let's say, normal, but ends up being so useless that he ends up losing the tournament in the first round because, performance issues. Fortunately, this warrior named Kahable knows about him being a hero and decides to help him, as long as they help her search for some bandits who turn out to be the ones who kidnapped the girls. So, he can solve 2 problems at once. Although the bandits turn out to be very weak, they had a beast locked up, which ends up cornering even Kahable. Yotsuya uses his new class skill. Nope, it's persuasion. Hey, look behind you. And boom, he stabs the monster. After saving the girls, Kahable ends up joining them on their journey and training them, not because they're weak, but because she's a weirdo. She has a fetish for cutting flesh, but there's a small little problem. Kyusu always felt inferior in real life because of her weak body and not being able to do anything. So now she wants to help anyone who needs it, which Yotsuya is pretty much against because this is a game and they should complete the missions. But still, he's basically living in another world with his non-era. Shindo wanted him to join them, or the other guy in their school with the same name. It's 50-50, so he decides to get his thing going with Kyusu by helping these guards from another kingdom who are being attacked by werewolves. They take care of the situation, but they realize that the guards were carrying some heretic prisoners to be executed in another kingdom. So, now they don't know if those heretics' deaths would count as an indirect penalty, or if they could be the goods. So they decide to escort the guards while they think about what to do. The leader of the guards decides to take them through a supposed shortcut, but ends up betraying and leaving them in a dungeon full of puzzles and traps. Yotsuya manages to solve the first puzzle, and gets confident when he only sees a wall and a path, so he decides to. He ends up in a room where he must climb the wall to get out. Without any other option, the girls continue and leave him behind. Yotsuya continues doing his best to climb up but can't help wondering why he's doing this, remembering things from his past, like his time in the village, where he was surrounded by good friends and unforgettable experiences, and how he went from that to a city where he only became a lonely person. However, in this new reality, he is practically the leader of a team, totally forgetting that the girls are useless. But he cannot let them die just because of his weakness. So, using all his effort, he escapes from the hole to find that Shindo managed to kill a gargoyle, but Kahable ended up injured and unconscious in the water. Without thinking, he decides to save someone from this world for the first time, and she is quite grateful, even to the point of feeling something more. So, this literally became how to pick up girls in a dungeon. Yotsuya then wakes up and realizing something. The quests have been quite vague. First, Shindo had to kill a goblin, but it wasn't specified which type of goblin. The second was to find 2 settlements but wasn't specified which. So, this quest could be to either deliver anything, but they also had to consider the heretics to be the goods. Since time is important, he decides to split them into 2 groups, one to find the guards and rescue the heretics, and another to escort some random cargo heading to the city. This way they can confirm if they are targeting the correct objective. Yasuke and Yuka approach the guard leader saying they want to negotiate. They lie, saying that Yasuke had converted to the religion of the heretics and wants to negotiate for his 3 fellow believers. If the leader doesn't hand them over, then he will spread the religion all over the world using his immortality. Yuka then comes back later, saying that she wants to betray and sell Yasuke out. The guard leader orders one of his men to go with him and Yuka to find Yasuke while the other stays behind to watch the prisoners. After walking for a bit, they realize that Yuka was just leading them away. When they get back to the camp, they find Yotsuya like this. To make it worse, this girl looks like a true psycho sadist. He creates a whole show where he supposedly kills the heretics using mannequins so that no one tries to find them later. However, he decides to burn alive the guard he had captured, because he thinks that all these people are just NPCs in a game, and Kahable finishes the other two off. The first part of their quest ended as Yotsuya and Yuka delivered the traitors' heads to the guards of the city after exposing their crimes. Now, they only need to walk 5% of the whole map, but since they just have a day left, the girls decide to split up and give Yotsuya his payback. Each one explores a little of the map until they complete the remaining percentage needed, but they all get caught in a blizzard when they only have 6 more hours to walk the last 6 miles. And to make Yotsuya have the best day of his life, the girls are all like this. As useful as a kettle that cannot boil water, and since this guy has literally no luck in life, he ends up finding a one-eyed yeti. Luckily his kitchen skills allow him to defeat the beast, but he gets a reality check. The yeti was weak because it was hungry, and was trying to protect its 3 babies. He realizes the baby yeti's tears as they lost their mother and will either freeze or starve to death. But he has a voice inside his head saying you are not the father, and like that he's out, walking for a whole hour and barely increasing the percentage. He starts to think to himself about how he values lives inside this game, and how sacrificing NPCs is sometimes a must. He gets determined to survive and not die in this game, but this happens. He somehow revives and notices how Kyusu is dead, and then boom, Shindo is also dead. He decides to continue using a tunnel, and a monster eats him, leaving us with the only one alive, and their last hope, Yuyuka. Seriously, they're doomed. She's literally hallucinating with all of her favorite anime characters, but still, she's walking, following her imaginary husbando, with only 2 minutes left and 4 miles to go. Suddenly, they all respawn in front of the game master and find out they completed their quest. Somehow, Yuka got a random lucky encounter to meet a girl with a huge sonic cat that somehow managed to carry her 4 miles in less than a minute. I told you, she was the only useful one. And so, she decides to make the most interesting question of the whole show: if that world is really a virtual reality game. Short answer, no. Yes, Yotsuya, this is only a parallel world. You didn't kill NPCs, you killed real people. The baby yetis died because of you. Everything you did, every life you took, it's all real. They all return to the real world, and Yotsuya is still, yeah. The game master contacts him asking how he feels after knowing that he killed someone, but he simply deletes the message. But the game master appears in a little girl's form, and takes him on a mission to stop their next player from assassinating someone. He manages to stop it, and the game master asks how he felt after saving someone when he killed the people in the other world. But he only cares about increasing his chances of completing his next quest, and that's the only value the new player has. The game master points out that he sees other people's lives just like the average anonymous internet user. He explains that he only cares about himself and the group surviving, and reveals that he has a delusion that he's better than everyone else. He's the only person who's right while the rest of the world is wrong. Where have I seen this? Watch this next video. See you on the next one.